Hello, Professor Allen. This is Andrew Graves, representing Team Duende, and this is our first playthrough of our first prototype. Um, Here's the project file, and as you can see, we've got some assets that we had been working on. Um, I believe the majority of this is proxy art, uh, while we work on more polished art for later during the final phases of this game. But for the time being, proxy art will do fine. It's not very asset heavy, which is nice, and we've got it organized with nested folders, which would have been pretty useful for my last project. That was a crazy asset game. And so a lot of this we did in group work. Um, there wasn't a whole lot Lucas could do while we were just creating all the art for him to import and use. So he started with just hit blocks. Most of the mechanics for the game he was already familiar with in previous projects, but I'll go ahead and demonstrate for you what we got here. Here's the game. Juan Carlos is walking around like he owns the place. Your typical RPG experience, taking on the role of the main character, who is to collect a bunch of items to put on Lalo's headstone here. You know, we have placed, or altar, not headstone, but yeah. And here's the NPC that he talks to. Here's the dialogue. It was supposed to be yes or no, but I guess Lucas didn't get around to implementing that, and so he just added in, you know, a linear script. But after the player chooses yes, it's at this point that it would go into minigame, and then you would see this dialog box telling the player how to play the minigame. And it's basically a matchup game. Since I know where all the skulls are, because I've played this multiple times, it's a quick run through. But you get 3 tries, and if you don't, uh, if you don't win, you don't get a prize. We didn't get around to implementing this part, this mechanic of the game, but after winning, I would have received a prize and then taken that prize up to Lalo's altar and dropped it for him. And that would have been how the player knows their progress by how many items they accumulate on the altar. Now, I was toying around with an idea of of um, swapping out this cursor from a generic skeleton hand to actually Lalo himself, because we can't really figure out any particular reason why the player would want to cross over into the spirit world just to play as Lalo. There, I'm not familiar with any kind of lore or traditions that Latin communities have about the spirit world, but since there's no reason to go there, it doesn't really factor into the winning conditions at all. Um, and also considering that it would just be more of the same thing, more of this, more of just walking around, talking to NPCs and navigating the world. It just seemed to be a little bit of a boring idea. But if you controlled Lalo as the cursor, I thought that'd be a neat mechanic to play around with. It's playing both the main characters at the same time. You have Lalo, who can't really interact with the physical world except maybe grab some items that are out of Juan Carlos's reach. Um, and likewise, Juan Carlos, being bound to the physical world, can actually talk to people and play the mini games and what have you. And that way, you have the you have the other you have a new mechanic there to play with. So that's something for us to consider. But for right now, this proxy art is just here for us to figure out what it is that we're doing for the vertical slice, and then we will carry on after that and see how it goes from there. So thank you very much. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.